the vast nothingness of space. Turns out to be even better when you take away everything unnecessary. Today on Ian Gaming, Rymdkapsel, with its refreshing take on base building in space by Swedish developer Martin Jonasson. Released as a mobile game for iOS, Android and PlayStation Vita in late 2013, Rymdkapsel has been ported to home computers and re-released in January 2014 on Steam and the Humble Store. Now, what the guy from Grapefrukt Games did with this game is to take a generic base building game in the style of Dwarf Fortress, strip away everything he deemed unnecessary, and what he came up with is a beautiful little game that wonderfully shows how a game reduced to its core still has a right to exist in the days of Frostbite engine and microtransactions. Now for the game itself. You start off with these two white rectangles, called minions, and a few resources of the categories energy, material, and food. Now, in order to expand your base, the player needs to build corridors and connect rooms to them, which each serve a specific purpose. This simple principle gets spiced up by a guest appearance of Tetris in the top left corner, which indicates the shape of the next room deployed. This mechanic forces the player to think ahead and creates room for interesting shapes and layouts of your base. To regain used resources, the player can build generators for energy, extractors for materials, which have to be placed adjacent to a material patch, and a garden in combination with a kitchen to grow food. At this point you'll probably ask yourself what the catch is, and that's where these baddies roll in. Unless you're playing in Zen mode, these red arrows may or may not cause separation anxiety, paranoia, or both. Every so often they will roll in and try to shoot up your precious little base with increasing frequency, until every last white triangle is eradicated and your permanent construction site floats around in solitude and silence. Oh no, there must be something we can do! And you guessed it, you can. Every security room that you place has an area of effect, in which the minions that are assigned to the security task will defend against the invaders, but at the same time also prevent additional security rooms to be built within that proximity. This inevitably makes the base spread when more and more rectangles want to be armed. Speaking of which, if you were wondering, all you need for a new minion is an orange room, 2 pieces of food and some thin air. Each of these rooms provides enough room for 2 additional minions to help further your efforts towards delayed extinction. As the developer seems to have at least a bit of pity for your beloved minions, he granted you 4 monoliths floating around your base, which will provide you with different buffs as soon as you have built a path and researched them. They will speed up your minions, increase your material gathering rate, lower the frequency of invading waves, and increase the firing range of your security personnel. As this still is a strategy game that is remotely related to Dwarf Fortress, there is no way to directly issue a command to an individual minion. Instead, you assign a number of minions to one of the tasks at the bottom of your screen. The affected minions will then stop what they're currently doing and proceed to work in their new profession. This also seems to be a good time to point out that the user face of this game was obviously made for mobile devices with touchscreen capability. As this doesn't do any harm to controlling the game with the mouse though, I highly appreciate the simplicity of Rymdkapsel's UI derived from this heritage. Did I mention the sounds are awesome? Well, I did now, and the soundtrack was made by the very talented Niklas Ström, whose music can be heard in various other indie titles. This is also where the meditative part of Rymdkapsel kicks in. Just lean back and enjoy this bit of soundtrack. what is it that makes this game good? As it goes for me, it's the baffling simplicity in art, game and sound design, as well as its high production quality that makes this game worthwhile. It may not be the longest experience you'll ever have with an indie game, but considering the style the developer Martin Jonasson makes his games in, this can be seen as a proof of concept. And Martin, your concept is proved. Now, if this video sparked your interest, make sure to check it out on Steam, the Humble Store and each major mobile platform. You can find the links to those as well as other interesting stuff related to Rymdkapsel in the description. Thank you everyone for watching. Eon Games is just starting up, so if you like the style of this video, it would be very much appreciated if you subscribed. You can prepare for a wild ride to come on this channel. All our social media is also linked in the description, so feel free to visit us there. As for today's video, this was Flips for Eon Gaming, signing off.